Hey, what is up guys? This is Bailey Stein with Android Authority, and in this video, let's see how ZTE's affordable flagship compares to the Galaxy S7. First off, there's design. Whereas the Galaxy S7 is composed of curved glass panels held together by an aluminum band, the Axon 7 is encased in a beefy all-metal unibody. The Axon 7 is considerably larger too, with a 5.5-inch display compared to the Galaxy S7's 5.1-inch display. For something smaller, you should also consider the 5.2-inch Axon 7 Mini, or for something larger, the 5.5-inch Galaxy S7 Edge. In the hand, the Axon 7 feels smooth and slippery due to its all-metal curved rear, while the Galaxy S7 feels distinct and graspable, although its glass easily collects fingerprints. Both handsets feel premium in their own ways, and offer equally top-notch build quality. Now, for looks, it ultimately just comes down to personal preference, but I personally think that the Galaxy S7 looks better with its light refracting glass. You're getting capacitive navigation keys on both phones, and while it's nice to be able to change the position of the back and recent keys on the Axon 7, Samsung keys are nicer to use since they're illuminated and better positioned. The Galaxy S7 is also IP68 water resistant, so it can handle being submerged in 1 meter of water for up to 30 minutes. This is a great feature to have for peace of mind, and we have to commend Samsung for implementing this without adding any flaps or gaskets to the various ports. Sadly, the Axon 7 is not water resistant at all, so you'll need to be more careful. Perhaps interestingly, both phones use Quad HD AMOLED displays manufactured by Samsung. Aside from the 0.4-inch bump in size on the Axon 7, the only major difference is in sunlight readability. Since the Galaxy S7 is using a Super AMOLED panel, it does a bit better. Other than that, however, you're getting nearly the same experience with Gorilla Glass 4 and subtle side curves. The same can be said about performance. In the US, both phones ship with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 820, Adreno 530, and 4GB of RAM. That is to say, you'll be experiencing some of the best performance available today, regardless of your choice. For connectivity, the Axon 7 offers the exact same options as the Galaxy S7, except it adds an additional SIM card slot and comes unlocked out of the box. It's also technically compatible with all 4 major carriers in the US, although we've been hearing mixed reports from Verizon and Sprint users, so if you're on either of those networks, you'll probably want to go with the Galaxy S7. But if you're on AT&T, T-Mobile, or one of their respective MVNOs, you'll notice no difference in network support. Both phones offer microSD card expansion, although on the Axon 7, it's only up to 128GB, and requires that you give up the second SIM card slot. What's sort of ironic, however, is that the less expensive Axon 7 base model includes 64GB of storage compared to the Galaxy S7's 32GB of base storage. If you want the same 64GB with the Galaxy S7, you'll be needing to pay more. The Axon 7 features a recessed rear-facing fingerprint reader, while the Galaxy S7's reader is embedded within its home button. Both are reasonably fast and accurate. When it comes to external audio, the Axon 7 is the clear winner with dual stereo front-facing speakers, compared to the Galaxy S7's distorted-sounding, side-firing speaker. The difference is very noticeable, and if you especially value volume, clarity, and immersion, you can't go wrong with the Axon 7. The contest gets a bit more interesting when it comes to headphones though. Although ZTE has heavily marketed the Axon 7's dual independent hi-fi audio chips, I couldn't notice a difference compared to the Galaxy S7. That's not to say that all of this is just marketing fluff, as the Axon 7 does still sound better than some other flagship devices, but rather that Samsung seems to have also used a high-end audio chip. In our battery life testing, the Axon 7, on average, just slightly edged out the Galaxy S7 with a full day of use and 5 hours of screen on time compared to a full day and 4 hours. Both phones offer great battery life, and you may be able to achieve even longer battery life with more stringent management. The Axon 7 supports Quick Charge 3.0 for a 50% charge in 30 minutes, while the Galaxy S7 has Quick Charge 2.0 for a 60% charge in 30 minutes. The Galaxy S7 also supports Qi and PMA wireless charging, if that matters to you. Samsung has been known for its amazing cameras for some time now, so it's no surprise that the Galaxy S7's 12MP f1.7 shooter outperforms the Axon 7's 20MP f1.8 shooter. To clarify, the Galaxy S7 has a lower megapixel count in order to provide larger pixels, allowing for more light, which theoretically means better photos, especially in low light. And yeah, the Galaxy S7's camera is better, although the daylight photo difference may not be as much as you had expected. The Axon 7's camera is quite capable in good lighting, despite its tendency towards warmer color temperatures and trouble with brighter colors. With that said, the Galaxy S7's dynamic range is plainly superior. Just notice how well the Galaxy S7 brings up the shadows without losing the details in the highlights, unlike the Axon 7. It is worth noting that the Axon 7's images are sharper though, so if you want to crop in, you won't lose as much detail as with the Galaxy S7. In low light, the difference becomes much clearer. Although light is oddly reflected across the S7's lens at times, it offers far brighter, less noisy, and more detailed shots than the Axon 7. This shouldn't come as much of a surprise, as we declared the S7's camera to be one of the best in low light, and the Axon 7's to be one of the underperformers in our respective reviews. If you take a lot of pictures in low light, the S7's extra cost may be worth it. For video recording, both phones do 4K at 30p and each offer optical image stabilization. The S7 once again edges out the Axon 7 with better colors and more gradual exposure changes. It also offers more manual controls, which can be very helpful for professionals. All things considered, the S7 is clearly superior in the camera department. For camera apps too, the S7's feels a bit more polished, although ZTE's is also quite easy to use. Although both phones are shipping with Android 6.0 Marshmallow, each include their own extra features and UI tweaks. The Axon 7 includes ZTE's fairly young Mi Favor UI 4.0, whereas the Galaxy S7 features a more evolved TouchWiz. Neither experience is overly jarring. You'll be getting an app drawer, pseudo-stock UI, and generally tolerable system apps either way. With that said, I found myself enjoying the Galaxy S7 software more than the Axon 7's. I do like some of ZTE's features and changes, but they really need to work on polishing the experience like Samsung has. There's no doubt that Mi Favor will improve over time, but for now, TouchWiz feels more like the finished product. On a positive note for the Axon 7, it doesn't ship with nearly as much bloatware as the Galaxy S7 does, and the few apps it does come installed with can be uninstalled. Based on what we've seen historically, it looks like both the Axon 7 and Galaxy S7 will be receiving over-the-air updates to Android 7.0 Nougat within the next 6 months or so. You can buy the ZTE Axon 7 in either gray or gold, unlocked and dual SIM for $400. The Galaxy S7 is available in black, white, and gold for around $670 to $700, depending on the carrier. That's a pretty considerable difference in pricing, so you want to carefully consider our conclusion. Before that though, it's worth mentioning that, in the United States, the Axon 7 includes ZTE's Axon Passport 2.0, a 2-year premium warranty. Basically, if you happen to water damage or drop your Axon 7, you can get it replaced for a relatively low cost. Advanced exchanges and two-way shipping are provided for no additional charge. Both of these phones are excellent choices, and they're easily among the best smartphones released this year. It's impressive how much of the core experience the Axon 7 gets right. Yeah, the Galaxy S7 does a lot of the smaller things better, but it also costs a lot more. And if you aren't really going to use those features, it might not be worth the extra cost. It's certainly a case of diminishing returns, with the Axon 7 even offering better battery life, a much better audio experience, and a better warranty. Ultimately, you have to ask yourself whether the Galaxy S7's water-resistant, more sunlight-readable display, better camera, and more polished software are worth the $300 plus price difference. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please be sure to give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Finally, be sure to visit the Android Authority website for additional coverage, as we are your source for all things Android.